The Baltimore Ravens, with a gutsy call on their final play, go for two and the win, but they come up short, and it cost them. Did John Harbaugh make the right call? The Patriots' 7-game win streak snapped. Did Mac Jones get exposed in a tough loss to the Colts? And Dolphins D lineman Christian Wilkins scores a touchdown and celebrates in, shall we call it, style. That is how you kick off
look at my guy.
right there.
Look at him.
A Monday morning.
Fresh.
Look at the big guy go.
Fresh.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to First Things First. Jenna Wolf, Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, Kevin Wildes. Wild, serious question for a serious guy. Is that, in fact, the best touchdown celebration? Old school, vintage.
Oh, it's very
thing.
good. It looks like Broussard out there in the early 80s, Broussard. You and Roxanne
That's
Shante,
right.
let's go.
That's right. Pop locking.
All right. We, though, have to start with a shocker in Tampa last night. Saints and Bucks. Tom Brady coming into this one looking to build on his MVP status, coming up against the Taysom Hill-led team. How hard could that be? It turns out very, very hard. The Saints defense were all over Brady in this one. Forced 2 turnovers, sacked him 4 times, just made like, I should have gotten the iPad. That was just terrible. It's a rough night for the GOAT. The result, a 9-0 Saints win. Just Brady's 3rd shutout loss ever, first since 2006. Evans, Godwin, Fournette, all left with injuries. As the Bucks will have to wait just a little longer now to clinch the NFC South. All right, Chris Broussard, kick us off this morning. Brady was your preseason MVP pick. Did he lose the MVP last night? He only threw it once. We're just going to show it over and over.
No, Jenna, not at all. Look, he lost ground. You see, I'm not up here in sunglasses chilling. I mean, this thing isn't in the bag anymore. But he still is the front runner. He still should be ahead. Nick, I'm sorry. I know you're trying to make a late charge for Patrick, but I really think there was only one guy close to Brady going into yesterday, and that was Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers is close now. He's closer. But when I look at both of them, here's the deal. Brady had a clunker, obviously. But Rodgers had a clunker against this same New Orleans team. In fact, his game was worse in the first game of the season. Now, he's been great since then, but Brady's highs have been much better than Rodgers' highs. All right, Rodgers has been steady and really good at times, but steady. Brady has had these incredible highs. Brady has 4 games, guys, where he's thrown for 4 touchdowns, and 2 games where he's thrown for 5 touchdowns. So 6 games of 4 more touchdowns. Rodgers, 3 games of 4 touchdowns and 0 with 5 touchdowns. Not to mention Brady leads the league in yards per game. He's 40 yards per game ahead of Aaron Rodgers. He leads the league in touchdowns. He's got 6 more than Aaron Rodgers. And on top of all those statistics, he has the narrative. Now, you guys know I vote for MVP in the NBA.
I don't know if he does.
I don't take narrative.
I don't know if he still has the narrative. I try not to take narrative into I don't take narrative into consideration, but a lot do. And here's the thing, Nick, think about the narratives. For Brady, 44 years old, defying father time, and not only winning, because we would be amazed if he won at 44 years old. But he is leading the league. He won Super Bowl MVP at 43.
And then Rodgers.
You were almost there.
And then Rodgers. Hold on. Rodgers' narrative. What? His narrative is negative. All right, it's that he lied to the media about not being vaccinated and then missed the game that cost his team against your Chiefs.
Hold on.
So that's a tough narrative to overcome.
Yeah, that is true. I understand that. However, if you actually thought Brady had the strong narrative edge, then your initial dissertation, you wouldn't have sounded like all those analytics folks you dislike so much, like you were reading off a spreadsheet. Well, his yards per game, and actually he has 6 404 touchdown games. No. We know quite well this is, in part, if not in large part, a narrative-based award, a momentum-based award. And can we all agree that Brady picked the worst time for his worst game? And by the way, all blowouts, not blowouts, I shouldn't say, all shutouts or near shutouts are not created equal. I would argue Rodgers' game losing to these Saints, getting crushed 38-3, is not as bad as Brady's game last night, because there was no point in that game with Rodgers after the first quarter and a half where it's like, all right, put one drive together and you win. Brady had nearly a dozen chances.
That's a
ball
good thing.
in his hands, down less than a touchdown, and failed on all of them. So listen, Brady was the overwhelming favorite according to Vegas going into the game, Wilds. I said I thought it should be Rodgers. Rodgers clearly passed him, and I know you don't want to hear it, but Mahomes is right on his heels too. 100% based on how the flow of the season goes. Okay, I mean, listen, it's foolish to anoint this award with 25% of the year left. I said that going into this week, that if Brady had a bad game against the Saints defense that has killed him, and if Mahomes is great on national TV and Rodgers is great on national TV, it's going to change the narrative. Well, Brady had the worst game he's had, you could argue, in 15 years, getting shut out. Mahomes was spectacular. Rodgers was spectacular. And we still have nearly 20% of the season left. This thing's wide open, and Rodgers should have been ahead going into last week anyway, Wilds.
Okay, let's chill out. And the Mahomes was spectacular for part of the game. He still had 2 turnovers last game, too. And I know you want to make this about Mahomes and, like, sneak him into the conversation. And these aren't advanced analytics when we're talking about Brady versus Mahomes. I'm talking about raw completions. Brady has more completions, a better completion percentage, more yards, more touchdowns. Mahomes has more turnovers and more interceptions. They both have the same amount of wins.
But does
so I
this,
know you want to sneak him
Wilds,
into the
this,
conversation. I'll put him in. I'll put
Well,
like,
I'm
here,
not-
you know
I'm
what?
not the one
Here he
doing
is.
it.
He's in. Yes, we literally are.
In every
We're on
betting
a
market,
show.
he's third.
You literally are.
In every Wilds, in every betting market right now, Fox Bet has Brady slightly ahead of Rodgers. Other markets have Rodgers and Brady dead tied, and the Mahomes is third. So yes, if it's a 2-person conversation, Mahomes isn't there yet, according to the markets, but Rodgers is right there. But it's Broussard. It's not just a stat-based award. It never has been. That's a part of it. But then there's also, are we going to act like if one team goes 13-4, another team goes 13-4, and one does it by finishing on a 10-game winning streak, that's not going to be incorporated? Because it always has been incorporated. That's why Mahomes didn't win last year going 14-2. Because at the end of the year, other guys were playing better.
No, I get the narrative is a part of it, but I still don't think Rodgers has a stronger narrative than against a 44-year-old who is defying Father Time. I mean, seriously. Now, granted, I agree. It is not in the bag, and I said this last week, he's still got to finish out the season strong. But are you telling me that Rodgers' narrative, and they're not winning 10 straight, so you're talking about Mahomes, but Rodgers' narrative will never be stronger than Brady's if Brady plays well and they're close at the end. Mahomes' narrative, Nick, Mahomes is having the worst season of his career, all right? And the numbers bear that out, and so does the win-loss record. And you're going to tell me he's going to win the MVP? I'll give you that he's third, and if the other two, Rodgers and Brady, fall off and Mahomes is great over the next few weeks, then sure.
Yeah.
But realistically,
But I've never said he's
got
the
a
MVP.
long way to go.
Broussard, we agree on, for the most part.
You want him on the periphery of the
Mahomes part.
conversation.
I've never said he's
Okay.
going to win. Right. What I said was 2 weeks ago, to act like this thing's in the bag for Brady with 6 games to go is insane. And then we knew the Saints had historically given him trouble. Can we all at least agree that if we were 4 days ago saying, paint the scenario where the MVP is a hotly contested race again, the perfect storm for it, we would have gotten it? That Mahomes is sensational, 400 yards and a comeback victory. Rodgers is sensational. And not only does Brady lose, he gets shut out. Jenna, what'd you say for the first time since 2006? We can't, the actual events have to matter. It was everything that needed to happen for this MVP race to be wide open happened exactly in order. So yeah, it's wide open. I think Rodgers should be ahead, personally.
All right, we will have much more on the MVP discussion, not to be lost in this. Again, Bucks lose to the Saints last night.
Where
they
are my
get shut out. They're in Carolina next week with another chance to close out the NFC South. What are you looking for, Broussard? Because it's not there.
Out.